Welcome to my channel where we question everything. Today's topic is bits and pieces, and we're going to talk about Mali and the French influence operations. If you haven't known that, the French have deployed troops in Mali for the last 8 years. And recently they have been asked by the Mali government to leave the country. I think it was more or less the beginning of the year. And then the French troops moved out at the embarrassment of Macron. And the latest development is that Mali has now banned Paris-backed NGOs after almost a decade of unsuccessful French attempts to gain a foothold. Now, we all know by now that NGOs are usually used by governments, especially the Western governments, to gain the favor of a country by clandestine operations, and sometimes they also are used for color revolutions. And the Ukrainian coup d'etat in 2014 is a good example. And you can look now at all the unrest action in Iran, and the previous fiascos in Egypt, Libya, Syria. Well, those are all the work of foreign governments, NGO. And finally, the African countries are waking up and they treat the NGOs as it should have been a long time ago. And why do they do it? Well, we know that there's a multipolar world being created. And there are now options available, and Russia and China is focusing a lot on Africa, and Africa seems to think that they are not that dependent on the West's support anymore, and that makes them a lot more bolder to react and to defy the Western influence. In any case, Mali has basically banned these NGOs from or any non-governmental organization within the country that receives funding from France. And this move came in the wake of France's decision to withdraw development aid to the country as its final troops pulled out of the Sahel region, marking the end of the 8-year Operation Barkhane. Well, the French, like the West usually do, they use aid as a tool in order to subject poorer countries and control them, and they do sanctions, and then they do support NGOs. But the West have used those tools too much, and it's like a blunted knife. It doesn't work anymore. I mean, America still wants to enforce sanctions. In fact, they wanted to enforce sanctions on the Russia Wagner group as a terrorist organization, because they say, yeah, due to the pressure that they are receiving from people that wants to label Russia as a terrorist country. So it's not about the Wagner group, it's about the pressure and certain person's view in order to put pressure and limit another country's forces or businesses to compete against them. So as you can see, it's all bullshit. Sorry to say. It's all smoke and mirror. Words mean nothing in the Western world. Any case, well, after 8 years, the French have withdrawn now. And the original idea was that this would have been a counter-terrorism operation in Mali. But unfortunately, it has changed his view, and it became a showcase for Emmanuel Macron, for his personal image and so on, and now it has been destroyed by an African, an uneducated, uncivilized type of barbaric. In any case, well, the Ukrainians' dream seems to be falling apart due to an overstayed welcome and less than stellar performance. And what does Macron say? No, it's not his fault, it's the Russians' fault. Can you believe it? In any case, What is told us in this article is that there were 3 coups in a period where the French were there. Now, if the French were there for stability and peace and anti-terrorism, then why did they allow 3 coups to have taken place? And it's the last coup that brought in the current government that is throwing out France and said no to France, and we're not going to take any instruction from you anymore. But typically, as the French and the Westerns are, they had the goal to say that the troop withdrawal would happen gradually. I thought he was still calling the shots on a former French colony. But the message from Mali was clear: you get out now. So then Macron said, no, he's going to send the French to just redeploy them elsewhere to the Sahel region. And on November the 7th, he announced that the Sahel mission was ending as well. Despite the French troops still remaining in charge in Niger. So the government of Mali says, listen here, take your bags and walk. And then Macron says, no, we will take our time and then we will leave. And maybe we should go not to this hotel, maybe we should go to that hotel in the meantime. And then we'll decide. No. Didn't Macron get the message? Get out. That's the message. But in any case, so Macron, I don't know what his vision is or what he wants to achieve, but he says in the next 6 months, there would be a new French military strategy for Africa. And it's getting Western hands on the African natural resources that Europe desperately needs. That's all what it's all about. It doesn't go about Africa per se. Just for your Western countries to suck Africa and other countries dry of their resources in whatever form they come. Minerals, or agricultural products, or whatever. And it was, they all actually mentioned that the French also, I won't say the French, yes, in this case it's the French, but it's actually the Western, they all act in the same way. Is that, when a couple of years ago, apparently the CEO of France's multinational Total Energies asked the EU to send him military assistance in Mozambique, and he cited the growing presence of Daesh, ISIS. So imagine, Mozambique, that's what he's talking about. The government, no. The EU should send some, it's called French troops, to come to another country and protect him against whom? They're going to call them ISIS, but they are not ISIS. They're probably only locals that are not agreeing with the rape of their country. Like sometimes happens in Nigeria. Well, seems to me the world is, the wheel is slowly turning. And more and more people in the world or countries are standing up to the Western, I call it suppression and exploitation. That I think is a good description. In any case, I thought again it was interesting. So, this is my story for today. If you liked it, please subscribe. Tell your friends. Spread the word. Leave a comment. And until next time. Cheers.